3,
Make sure you write down numbers.
2, 1. Welcome to Pop Sports.
Yeah, Panda. Gold chain. Black and white. Panda with the gold chain. All right. Welcome to a special edition of Pop Sports.
Why is it special?
Because it's Free Agency Wednesday. That's why, Jerry.
Booyah.
Oh my God. There are so many things going on right now.
So many.
Like, there's that gif of Dr. Phil that's just like that's how I feel right now, trying to keep up. Like, it is absolutely insane.
Checks out.
Alex, like you were saying, you've been keeping up on this fairly often-ish, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy.
This is fantastic.
This is the craziest NFL offseason I can remember in the last easy, 10, 12 years that I can remember.
I think it's the craziest across the board. I mean, there's usually a few teams that go nuts, and then the rest are just kind of doing their standard operations. But this is the first offseason I can really remember that almost every team seems to be participating in the mayhem.
Oh my God, I love it. It's
How
like
many
if you
players will get overpaid? How many?
Just look at
All of them.
Just look at the list. Almost every single player that's been claimed already has been overpaid, and we'll go through some of them because some of them are ridiculous.
They're
and
egregious.
stupid.
Yeah.
Oh.
We'll also try to find some of the values. There's not much, but
There's
there's
not much.
There's
Show
not
me a
much.
value.
There's-
Show me a value.
We'll get there.
You'll
We'll
win.
tease it.
You'll win
Tease it.
$100. Show
I
me
tease
value.
yourself. Pace yourself.
All right. Well, get ready to pay up because I got one for you.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, we'll see.
But pay me first.
But first, man,
but
First, and then I'll be out of here.
what a crazy week so far. Holy crap.
Yeah, and it's just really beginning. That's the thing. That's the crazy thing.
And usually, the NFL free agency is one of the more least exciting of the major sports.
Well, usually there's not so many trades.
And usually there's not this many good players on the market.
Yeah, that's a really
usually,
good point.
the biggest ones are usually what? Baseball and hockey and basketball are kind of...
Basketball lately has been perennial.
Hockey and basketball are kind of on the same kind of level. It seems like baseball is usually the biggest one.
Yep.
But it seems like football this year has absolutely dominated. There are just so many good players that are on the market. It's ridiculous.
Yep.
Oh my God. So
And we'll get into
we're gonna go into plenty.
more detail.
We
about
might
that
even
a little
have
bit.
2 shows because we have so much we have to go over. And this is just within the first week or so.
First like a couple official days.
Well, today is the official day, so we're filming on Wednesday of the official free agency start. But all these teams start their tampering negotiations.
Well, the tampering period happened over the weekend, which is essentially where teams can negotiate with players and free agents, but can't officially sign them to anything until today.
That is very true. That is very
Trying to
true.
be informative before
Right.
things started to happen. But
What was that, Alex? Huh?
yeah, you chime in there?
Wow, you're so dominant.
Thank you.
A lot of teams looking pretty dominant right now. But leading into it, we're going to look at some of the key signings that we feel are beneficial both to the player and the team itself. So
Yeah.
I know I'm going to take a look at some of my top signings, and then I'm going to go over some of my signings that I was not a fan of, either because of the money or the player or both. But first, we'll start with basically the only starting quarterback that was kind of on the market, which was Nick Foles, who is going to the Jaguars.
Yeah, he and the thing about the Jaguars is it seemed like they were betting against themselves, or not betting, but
They were betting against themselves. Yeah,
they were the only team really in serious negotiations with Foles, and they still ended up paying him, a potential for $102 million over 4 years.
$21 million a year for Nick Foles.
Yeah,
that shows you how desperate the market was.
That shows you A, how desperate the Jaguars were to upgrade on Blake Bortles, and B, how barren the quarterback market usually is in free agency.
Yeah. But overall, I think this is going to be a beneficial signing for both teams. Foles now doesn't have to deal with the quarterbacking carousel with is Wentz going to be healthy? If he does well in the playoffs, is he going to be the starter? Is Wentz going to be gone? All that circus.
Yeah.
Now it's just Nick Foles is the starter. No doubt about it.
It's his job
Go
to
out,
lose. Yep.
play. Exactly. There's really nobody that's challenging him. So his job security is pretty much set.
When the Jaguars do eventually release Blake Bortles, I think the only other quarterback on their team is Cody Kessler. That's not exactly a threat to anyone's job, let alone the guy who signed a fat 4-year contract to lead a team that is 1 year removed from being a team that almost put the Patriots out.
Well, it's one of those things is after, that season that they had and then last season, do you consider the run against the Patriots a outlier or like a fluke year? Or do you think they were on the right track and hit a speed bump?
So I think Blake Bortles played out of his mind that year. And I think that they came crashing back to earth. So I think Bortles had the fluke year that year. I do think that defense is legit. I do think that some of the skill position players are that good. Leonard Fournette, the running back there, is a really good running back. They have a lot of good, young, fast receivers who, as the Patriots have seen, can play. I mean, they thoroughly dominated, arguably, their matchup during the Patriots Super Bowl winning season this past year.
Yeah.
And the Jaguars kicked the Pats' ass. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. I mean, the Jaguars whipped the Pats, specifically in the passing game. Specifically, young, physically gifted receivers like D.D. Westbrook and Kalen Cole and guys like that.
But,
so no, I think if Nick Foles is legit, if he doesn't fall on his face, this team could be a real threat in the AFC.
So, especially in the AFC South, looking at that division, now that you see this move with Foles, and then another one that I'm going to talk about in a couple of minutes is Kareem Jackson, who went to the Broncos. So,
but he depleted a team in that division.
Right. So, I mean, the Colts haven't done too much. Titans have made some moves, which we'll take a look at. Now that the Jaguars have Foles, do you see them as a potential favorite for that division, or do you think they're just in the mix?
I still think the Colts are the favorite. To me, it's still Andrew Luck's division. I think the Jaguars are firmly in that wild card spot with the Texans, but I think if I gun to my head right now, I would still say it's Colts coin toss, but I'll favor the Texans and go Colts, Texans, Jags, Titans. But I think the Jaguars have put themselves in that. They're an 8-8 team.
Yeah.
I think Nick Foles is good enough to get 8 wins.
Yeah. So do you think overall the Foles contract, is this an overpayment or is it about...
It's for sure an overpayment, but for quarterbacks you have to do it.
Right.
Like there's no...
Especially when there's only one
no other
on
move.
the market.
There's no other move. I mean, unless they wanted to give a crazy contract to Teddy Bridgewater.
Right.
Or...
Well,
I don't know.
Like you were saying, they were kind of outbidding themselves. Because if you think about it right now, one of the biggest things about the NFL that's been a major problem is the fact that not every team has had some kind of competent quarterback.
Yep.
Whereas now, it seems like it's finally a time where each team has their essentially kind of franchise quarterback.
See, what I think really helped...
do you think they outbid themselves as one of the only few
For
teams that actually needed a quarterback?
Yes, but real quick, I think the reason why all these teams have quarterbacks is so many of the quote-unquote past generation quarterbacks have managed to stay around longer. You know, Brady, Rivers, Breeze, Roethlisberger, like to a lesser extent Rodgers. Or to a lesser extent Manning, I should have said. They managed to stay into the league 5 or so years longer than they were like supposed to.
Yeah, projected, yeah.
So when you have like 4 of the best quarterbacks in the last 15, 20 years stay around longer, just 1 or 2 good draft classes, like the Andrew Luck, Russell Wilson, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, like when you get classes like that perform and get 1 or 2 franchise quarterbacks a year, it helps even that out. And I think that's where the league has benefited, is you get, I mean, Breeze, Brady, Manning, Rivers, Roethlisberger are all over 35. That's not a thing that used to happen.
Right.
It used to be if you made it to 35, that's crazy. So now that those guys make it, there were some young guys quickly developed into starting jobs. That's why I think the NFL has found a quarterback solution almost. You know, how long has it been since the Lions were able to find a quarterback? I mean, they perennially picked in the top 5. Yet why was Matt Stafford different? It's just because guys were developing faster and guys were sticking around longer. So I think that's why there's a barren free agent market, because guys like Andy Dalton were getting paid.
Yeah.
Andy Dalton's a middling quarterback.
Well, these guys aren't hitting the market either.
Exactly.
Like Kirk Cousins was a fluke.
Yeah, Kirk Cousins was the
that
fluke.
he didn't stay in Washington. Mm-hmm. Like you look at all these quarterbacks, how many major quarterbacks have moved over the last 5 years.
So it's been like Kirk Cousins and Peyton Manning were the big ones.
Yeah, like I can't think of any other major quarterbacks that moved that were like huge difference makers.
Like game changers. Like we can talk about trades and we can talk about guys coming up out of nowhere, but extremely rarely has it been that a proven, effective, legitimate starter hits the market and signs elsewhere.
Yeah, like I mean, the only other one maybe was Garoppolo, but he was a backup and
But he
was
got traded.
unproven. Yeah, as a backup. But like you don't see quarterback movement very often.
Right.
So yeah, like this and the Kirk Cousins thing just seems like a very big fluke.
Going
They're
back
either
to, like,
traded or franchised or something. Usually you don't see this.
Even to go as far back as like I think 2006, Drew Brees got traded from the Chargers.
From the Chargers. Yeah.
to-
well, that's because they had Rivers.
Right.
Yeah.
But like that's it. Like that, the whole Brett Favre thing, which was unique in and of itself,
Yeah.
and Peyton Manning were the big ones. So that's where quarterbacks get paid by the team they get drafted by, and that's just how it is.
Yeah, well, that's the way it has to be, or else because if a team doesn't have a quarterback, they're screwed.
Yeah.
They are porked if they don't have a quarterback in this league.
Yeah, you need to have a quarterback to have any sustained success,
Well, moving off of that,
which is
We
why
also-
the Nick Foles contract, in my opinion, is a good move.
it is a good move. I mean,
It's a
obviously
necessary move. The Jaguars just
It's obviously an overpayment,
Yeah.
but I mean, it's something you have to do.
it's a
regardless.
necessary evil.
Yeah.
In today's NFL.
I mean, what are you going to do if you didn't get Foles? What are you going to have? Cody Kessler, Blake Bortles again?
Exactly.
Like that's not going to cut it. At least Foles gives you a chance.
At least Foles shows up in big games too. I mean, that's a team that could limp into the playoffs and Foles could take over.
Could be.
He's shown it 2 years.
He's made a deal with the devil. I don't know.
He's done something and it's working. Whatever he's doing.
I don't know if he
works.
has any kids, but I'm pretty sure he's given up his firstborn child to the frickin' devil for that Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
Like, my God.
Yeah, I mean, like Nick Foles shouldn't be that good. I mean, he had a shot early in his career with Philly and he looked really good. Then he got traded and he did absolutely nothing. And it looked like he was just going to be that backup that missed his chance. And then he blew up again and now he's making $100 million. Whatever. Good for him is moral of the story. Good for him for raking in some serious cash.
Yeah. Well, that was one of the major ones. So we'll talk about trades at a different point, whether it's this episode or another episode. So I think this one just kind of focused more on signings. Does that
Yeah,
work for you?
Works for me.
So I was going to go through some of my top signings and see your
Do it up.
reaction and see if you agree with them or not.
Yeah.
So I had, as some of my top signings, I had Nick Foles as number one because Jacksonville needed a quarterback. Nick Foles has looked consistent and reliable over the last couple of years. Even though it was an overpayment, I thought that was probably the best signing so far.
Due to position of need.
Due to need.
to
Yep.
a potential playoff team. Yeah,
Right.
no.
Just because that's crucial. Like, that makes or breaks a franchise as a quarterback.
Yeah.
So for the Jaguars, I think that's absolutely huge. So I had that as number one. Number two, this one I think was great for the team and not very beneficial to the player, and that was Le'Veon Bell.
Okay.
I had that as two. Now hear me out. Hear me out.
I
Hear me
wasn't cutting across you.
Hear me. So, Le'Veon Bell got 4 years.
man. Take it easy.
Bro, relax.
Go.
So, Le'Veon Bell got 4 years, $52 million, which is 13 per.
Math.
Which, if you look at it, he wanted to be paid as the highest running back in the league, correct?
Correct.
He's not.
Not at all.
He is between David Johnson and Todd Gurley. So, he's in the upper echelon, but he's not the top running back.
Top three, yeah.
Right. So he's in like the top three. But based on his wild ass demands, he wanted to be the top running back in the league based on contract.
Not only that, he was offered the biggest contract for a running back by the Steelers.
This is where I actually give the Jets credit. So I'll start with the Jets and then talk
Whoa.
why.
What?
I know, right?
Feeling okay?
How many times do you think I'd ever say that in my life? I thought maybe a half. I don't know why half. I just figured, it's something. I don't know. I don't know how to put it, but it's just like, So the Jets, I actually think, made a really good deal, which doesn't happen ever.
Oh, not at
That's
all.
about as often as an eclipse. So for the Jets, they're able to get arguably, the best running back in the league, if not like within the top three running backs of the league.
He's one of the elite running backs.
Right.
Yeah.
So they get him for 13 per for 4 years. Mm-hmm. Right. They have a young quarterback who's going to be his second year in the league.
Cheap contract relative to quarterbacks.
Right. So, cheap contract, but you want to make sure that you have a safety net for that young player so that they don't get shell-shocked like a Josh Rosen, who got absolutely obliterated in Arizona because their team sucked.
To the point where they might just get rid of him.
Yeah, so he could be just a mental head case now because he got absolutely shell-shocked in a shit team. So for the Jets, getting Le'Veon Bell, who is a game changer and just a phenomenal freak talent, having him as a reliable weapon either to chuck down in the pass game or to hand off consistently helps alleviate the pressure off Sam Darnold, takes that pressure off of his shoulders as he's working to develop, and you're paying him kind of elite money, but not outrageous. I mean, if you look at what he was asking for, under the franchise tag in Pittsburgh, if he actually played, he would have been making $1.5 million more money, more dollars
Per year,
if he just played in Pittsburgh. Instead, he sat out, and now he's taking a contract where he's losing $1.5 million.
Yeah.
And the Steelers actually offered him, like, I don't know what it was, 14 per for 5 years.
Yeah.
That was the original offer, and he turned it down because he wanted more money. Now, he goes to the Jets, who still suck, but now they look like maybe they have half a clue.
They suck a little less
They
now.
suck a little less, right? And, you know, he's getting paid less than what was expected. So for the Jets, I thought this was a good signing. For Le'Veon Bell, he's a moron.
Is he, or did he prove a point? He wanted to stick it to the Steelers.
No, I give him credit for that, but he still came out on
And
the
he
wrong
did
end in
do
terms
it
of
the
money.
Antonio Brown way.
Well, he also lost money, though.
Yeah, but he didn't run out there and call the quarterback a fat rapist. So there's that.
No, it was the fat Brock Osweiler.
He called him rapey. Let's get it right.
Oh, rapey.
The rapey
There's
fat
a
Brock
difference.
Osweiler.
Nice quote.
I love that quote.
Still,
oh,
yeah.
my God.
So at
That's
least he
Hall
didn't
of
do
Fame.
that. He just sat out and wrote a jet ski and put it on Twitter.
So you could argue that Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell faced the same situation and went about it two ways. But
Both got paid.
But who do you think's the winner?
Oh, Brown, 100%.
Exactly.
Even though he's a douchebag
it
and
sucks.
a diva.
It looks worse.
Oh, yeah.
But Antonio Brown won.
Definitely.
They both went to equivalently awfully run organizations. They both went to teams that were way out of the playoff picture last year and are probably missing the playoffs this upcoming year, unless
I don't know
something
about the
drastic
Raiders
happens.
now.
Or Fringe.
The Raiders are looking much better now.
They have a lot of things
Oh,
to.
I'll
just
get it.
picked up
I'll
another
dig
wide
it.
receiver.
I'll
Oh, I
dig
know.
into the
Williams?
Raiders.
Tyrell Williams,
Yeah.
the Chargers
Oh,
kid.
God,
No, I know, but like
Raiders.
But you could argue that the Raiders and the Jets are very similar in terms of their structure, their coaching staff, and the way their organization is run.
Dumpster fire.
True.
Essentially.
Well, the Jets definitely have
But-
bigger upside right now.
But I think the argument can be made that Antonio Brown bitched and whined and moaned and played every card in his arsenal and got more money and made a team significantly look better on paper. Le'Veon Bell sat out a year, played the quiet game, tried to do it respectfully behind the scenes, didn't play too many media games, and he got less money to go to a team where
Yep.
the position doesn't really change the total structure, like the total makeup towards the playoffs.
True.
I think a wide receiver. More of my point is wide receiver is a little bit more important than a running back.
It depends on the caliber.
Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell are both top 5 at their respective
See,
positions.
for the Jets, I would say,
not even a hot take.
the running back is more important because you have a young quarterback, so you need to have something that alleviates that pressure off of him.
I would argue that he's not even the best signing on the Jets.
C.J. Mosley?
No, Jamison Crowder.
Oh, Jamison Crowder. Yeah, that's a good one.
My logic is he's a slot receiver. He's a blanket type of guy, which means anytime Darnold gets into trouble, he's going to dump it off to him. Crowder didn't get paid too much. Was he making like $9 a year
9-ish, yeah.
for
Wait.
3 years?
What do you mean? Not a lot. That was a lot
That was okay. That's
for Crowder. Are
it's
you kidding
an
me?
overpayment, but not
So-
like
The Jets had
exorbitant
the
amount.
Jets had over $100 million in cap space. They paid a good slot receiver a little bit more money to ensure he would come to New York.
Which you have to do if
kinda
you're a shit organization.
It's kind of like the Bills overpaying for Cole Beasley and John Brown.
Yeah.
They needed to overpay for lesser talent to ensure that they would actually
like
go.
who
I'm looking
wants
at the
to
stats.
willingly go to Buffalo?
Jamison Crowder was a guy who usually
388 yards.
yeah.
388 yards.
He had a bad
last year.
He
Yeah,
was also injured, I think. For
so
a couple of
I
games.
think he only played 10 games, and they also had a weird quarterback situation.
Yeah, they sucked last year.
I mean, they went from Alex Smith
The Colt McCoy.
to to Colt McCoy to Josh Johnson.
Oh yeah, that Jamoke. Oh,
So-
Jesus.
He only had 800 yards the year before.
Yeah, that's usually what he's good for.
Well,
So
they're
you're,
slot
so you're giving him $1
receivers.
million per 100 yards
yes.
a year.
I guess so.
For the Jets, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Jets have to overpay because they suck. That's what you have to happen. That's what has to
Jamison
happen.
Crowder was an up-and-coming receiver until the train wreck that was the Washington Redskins got in the way, and then
That's true.
and then he decided to join the train wreck that is the New York Jets.
That is true, too.
So,
I
he's-
think he just
but I
likes
still think he's
pain.
upgrading. I still think he's upgrading. I do think the Redskins are on like a hell path right now, and
Oh my God, jeez.
I don't know what to do with
What a
them.
shit
but
show.
At least the Jets have a good young quarterback that's like not suffering from broken leg infection syndrome.
Oh yeah,
Is.
Alex Smith. Jeez, my God.
Feel so bad for him.
But-
it's something you have to take into consideration when you're going to a team.
That is true.
Health of the guy getting you the football.
Yeah. Well, I mean, no. Yeah, that's true. Fair enough. Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, I think Jameson Crowder is going to be a more important signing to the Jets because he plays that slot receiver position.
I disagree. Well, I mean, Le'Veon Bell is also a pass catcher, so
He's a tremendous talent.
You can
but
always
he's
have him as a
also
check down.
He's also a running back.
so.
Slot receivers last longer than running backs.
Well, they also have Elijah McGuire, who's also a decent complimentary back.
You're going to justify taking Le'Veon Bell off the field? A slot receiver can play.
Well, if
can
you're
play
saying
100%
he's just
of the
a running
snaps.
back.
No, but that's my point. A slot receiver can play 100% of the snaps and still play to like 34, 35. A star running back needs to play almost 80% of the snaps to justify the contract.
Yeah, but if you
And
are,
he's going to be out of the league by 32.
well, if you're a defensive coordinator, all you have to do is just game plan it to take out Jamison Crowder, and if you don't have Bell, then the kid's screwed.
But that's the thing with good slot receivers. They're too quick. If you have
Crowder's
a
not elite. You could find a way to
I
take
said
him
good.
out of the game.
I said good. How many good game planners are there in the NFL?
You know what? That's true.
I mean, we've seen it time and time again. Stupid coaches are stupid.
That is true.
And they get in their own way constantly.
That is true.
You're going to get a defensive coordinator who says, I don't need to adjust my defense because it's good enough to stop them.
All right.
Like, I don't need to
Gus
focus
Bradley,
on things.
okay.
Like, that's the ridiculous concept. Yeah, Gus Bradley.
It's true.
Gus Bradley's still one of the better defensive coordinators in the league.
It shows
and
you
that's
how bad
still
they
how we
suck.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this league is in turmoil.
Slot receivers, I think, are more important than running backs. Like an above average slot receiver, I think beats a good running back for that case, especially for that money. When you consider it's half the money.
It's not half the money. No, don't you applaud him. Screw you. No. Crowder's
It's a
getting,
little more than half. Sorry,
Crowder's getting 9 and Bell's getting 13.
I went the
That's-
other way. I thought it was
It's not that bad.
15. But
It's not that bad. I would rather pay an extra $4 million to have Le'Veon Bell than
math is hard.
pay
All right,
fi-
I'm sorry.
Than pay $4 million less and have
Math
Jameson
is
Crowder.
really hard.
Hey, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. So overall, I thought that was a very good signing for the Jets. And Le'Veon Bell looks like a dumbass now because he lost money for,
Despite-
putting up with all of his shit.
Despite doing so in a slightly respectable
Which irritates me because he did it. I mean, both of them suck.
way. Him versus Antonio Brown.
Like, screw
Yeah.
both of the two jamokes, but, he actually did it. I guess if there's a more respectable way, he did it just through the traditional holdout. And you got douchebag Antonio Brown with the freaking bleach blonde mustache and the weird hairdo, just like going around looking like he's part of like Rocket Power. And just like what a moron this guy. I freaking hate.
He also showed up late to his press conference.
Oh my, yeah. Oh, perfect. I'm glad you got that guy.
Well, that's
Oh
because
my
he was
God.
getting the whole haircut and everything. He looks like a normal person again.
Probably. Well, at least he looked semi-respectable when, he was going to that press. Well, he did look respectable when he was in that press
He
conference.
did look respectable.
He did. I changed it. He looked respectable for the press conference. At least he didn't show up like, with that hairdo, he looked like Lars from Rocket Power. Like Twister's brother.
I thought you were going to say Prince or something.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
but,
He's got the big earrings, too.
But you know what? The Raiders did give up peanuts for him, so that's fine. But his whole diva circus show, oh my God, screw that a-hole. I hope the Raiders suck now that he's there. Oh my God. Between John Gruden being an incompetent idiot and Antonio Brown being there, oh my God, I want the Raiders to fail so bad. Oh my God, I want them to fail so bad.
So who's your
bad
third?
you'll
So
root
who's
for
your
the Browns?
Oh my
What-
God.
what?
So bad you'll root for the Browns?
Yes. Yes.
You would root for the Browns.
I'm going to root for the Browns.
Semi.
You can't.
It's
I
hard.
can. I
No
can do
one's
whatever the hell I
allowed to
want.
forget about Kareem Hunt.
I can do whatever I want, and they'll probably cut him at some point. Don't worry about it.
Hopefully. They shouldn't have signed him in the first place. They had Nick Chubb.
Hey, wait,
and then
wait,
they brought
wait,
that
wait.
media circus.
Question. So, who's your next signing? Who
Oh,
wants to talk
there you
about?
go. So the next signing. This one I thought was very good value. So one, let me preface this.
One.
One, the Ravens signing Mark Ingram. There was a 3-year deal for $15 million, so $5 million per. They lost Alex Collins because he was either charged or arrested with something, and they
He
released
sucked
him.
by the end of the year.
And
as
he
well.
sucked toward the end of the year, so they needed a running back badly.
Well, that kid was it Gus Williams?
I have no idea.
He played pretty well.
I just know. Oh yeah, I think it is. And then Kenneth Dixon.
I mean, Dixon's still around.
Yeah,
too,
whatever.
but yeah.
But Mark Ingram, I thought it was a very reasonable contract. He has shown to be a reliable running back. He's typically pretty healthy. So, I mean, I thought that was a really good value signing for the Ravens,
Yeah.
especially a team that has needed a running back for the last few years.
Yeah, no, I mean, I like Ingram as a player. The one concern I have with him is, like, my same concern that I have with most Alabama running backs, is they tend to fade by the end of their career. Like, Mark Ingram comes from a long line of good running backs that come out of the University of Alabama.
Yeah, but he's also under 30, and it's only a 3-year deal.
No, I mean, it could be wonderful for the Ravens, but a lot of Alabama running backs, because they're so heavily utilized in college, it almost adds to the physical toll. So by the time they're 30, they're junk.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
That's
know.
the risk. That's the risk
Oh,
you
it
get when you
definitely
pay
is.
for one of those guys.
Definitely is. But for the value, I thought that was a great deal.
But if you get 2 years out of him, and the third year is the crap year, it's worth it.
That's true.
That's why I agree. It's a good signing.
Well, a lot of these deals too are front heavy. So a lot of them, all the money's in the first couple of years, and then by the end of it, all the guaranteed money's done. So you can just cut their ass, and
Right.
none's the wiser.
Yep.
So I
A
thought that
lot
was
of it is a lot of these contracts are important based on their structure of guaranteed money.
True.
If it's front loaded, you can cut them no problem before the contract's up.
right. So I mean, I thought that was a phenomenal deal for the Ravens. I thought that was a steal for them.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
smart signing, especially for all the pieces that they were losing. Thought that was
Yeah.
a smart signing. Any other thoughts on that one?
I too thought it was a good.
All right, moving on. Alex, what do you think about that one? Mark Ingram to the Ravens. You like it? Don't like it?
Yeah, it's fine. He's fine.
Just fine.
The Ravens aren't going to be good this year, so it's fine.
No, they won't be.
No, they won't.
Yeah.
I just liked
I'm
it for
okay with
value.
that. I want it to be that way.
Value
Agreed,
for the player.
agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's
'cause
biased. I
It's
mean-
going to be the Browns. The
Oh,
Browns
yeah.
are going to win the North for the first time like ever. Jeez. So my next
I'm
one.
sorry, what?
What?
Excuse me?
Yeah, you can.
The
you can,
Browns are gonna win the
bookmark
division.
that. The Browns are going to win the division.
Lies.
Who's gonna beat them? You just ruled out Baltimore.
I will bet you.
Cincinnati sucks.
I will bet you.
You think Pittsburgh's gonna do it?
$40 right now. This is evidence. I will bet you $40 right now
Yeah, that's evidence.
that.
Being recorded.
Oh, there you go. I bet you $40
Good evidence. Yeah.
that the Browns are going to win the AFC North next year. Do you take that? Deal or no deal?
Deal.
All right, free $40. Nice. All right. So,
That's going to be you. Game over.
I was like, I didn't
Is
know
that
what
game
that was.
over?
It's game over.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Okay. Yeah.
All right,
Moving
we'll
on.
go my next one,
Next one.
my fourth favorite signing so far, Tyrann Mathieu to the Chiefs.
Yeah, it was a good one, especially when you consider that they cut.
You don't
Eric
look
Berry.
too thrilled. Go into depth. What?
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 Nothing.
Did you say heckle?
No.
Ooh, I don't
So-
want to know. I don't know what he's saying.
Let's go.
Are you just playing Mario clips?
Maybe.
Oh, okay.
No, the Tyrann Mathieu contract's a good one. I do think he's an ACL injury away from being toast. He's got 2 now to the same knee, and that's a lot of stress on your knees for a guy who plays everywhere in the secondary. I remember looking up where the Texans utilized him, and he played both safety spots, both corner spots, slot, and some linebacker. So he's very versatile. If he's healthy, he's going to be one of the elite safeties or defensive weapons in the league. Health is the big worry, especially when the Chiefs moved on from their other all-pro, injury-prone safety in Eric Berry.
and this is why I like this move, is because Eric Berry was in his 30s,
Black Betty.
or was either 30 or in his 30s, whatever it is, and he's been missing games left and right over the last couple of seasons. He's clearly not the same caliber he was before all these injuries, and this kid's only 26 years old, and while you're kind of overpaying, you're
I
gonna
think
get
this
him.
was appropriate.
You're gonna get
cash
him in
for
his
his talent.
prime. Yeah, like if you look at the Earl Thomas signings and
Eric Weddle's another one. And
Eric Weddle, Adrian Amos, like
Adrian Amos, yeah.
this was a pretty good. Well, I'd still say it's a little bit of an overpayment, but the biggest thing of the Chiefs was their defense. I thought
Yeah,
their
it was
defense,
awful.
their defense needs work, and their secondary definitely needs help. And I thought this was a good signing for them. Allows them to move on from Barry, who looked like he was toast anyways.
Yeah, he barely played. I think he played a total of like 5 games, including playoffs.
Oh yeah. So
last
I mean,
year?
if
last
Matthew
2 years, 5 games. I
if
think.
Matthew stays on the field, I think this is a really good signing.
You always pay the honey badger,
Right?
right?
Until he blows out his knee and can't play football anymore.
F you up.
How much money was guaranteed out of that? 14
Out of
million?
14, I think it was 9.5.
That is a good question. Would you like to look that up, sir?
Yes, sir.
Guaranteed money for Tyrann Matthew.
I think it was like 9.5, something like that. I mean, I think it was high guarantees because
I wish
It
we had
was-
enough followers for me to be like, do our followers like hearing me type because they know I'm working to get the answer, or do they want me to turn the mic off?
Nah, it sounds good. It shows that you're a hardworking man back there. Because what are you doing?
Making your dreams come true?
Making the magic happen. How have you not picked up on this yet? Come on, Alex.
you were so close.
Jeez. Well, you know what?
6.5.
6.5.
Yeah.
I feel like giving him half the money guaranteed is pretty great, since in
That is
every
good.
other sport,
Yeah.
all the money's guaranteed. So why
That is
not?
true. Yeah. I
No,
think
I mean-
that's a good contract.
We can go there. We shouldn't go there. We have a lot to cover.
We have
That's
a
true.
lot to cover.
That is true. That
we
is
just
true.
spend a whole nother episode about how the NFL is screwing players from college all the way through.
Yes.
Actually, for one of our episodes, I was going to. We'll discuss this off the
Okay,
air. We'll
okay,
discuss
okay,
it off
okay,
the air.
okay.
Business meeting. So, anyways, I thought that was a good signing.
Tyrann Matthew, good signing. That's his
Thank
bank
you.
account going
Thank
up
you.
and up and up.
That's my $40 going into the bank next season. That's what it is. So my next one.
So dominant.
You damn freaking right.
Just
Don't
like the
forget it.
Cleveland Browns in the division.
Yes.
Maybe.
It's a yes.
I will root for them if they cut Hunt. That's it. If they cut Hunt, I will buy a Browns jersey.
You already have a Browns jersey.
You want to make a pact?
Yes.
If they cut,
blood pact?
If they cut Kareem Hunt, if they cut Kareem Hunt, I will buy a Browns jersey.
All right, I'm in.
You'll do that too?
Wait, can we get a Browns jersey?
They mostly are.
No, with Brown's name on it. That's hilarious.
I thought not.
What Brown?
Oh right, that's Bell. Shit.
Did you
Bell?
say- Bell's not on the team either.
Oh my god.
Beckham? Are you thinking about Odell Beckham?
You're thinking
Yeah.
of Beckham.
Did you just fuck up that
and
much?
I
there's
did.
no way in hell I will ever get an Odell Beckham jersey. No freaking chance.
I'll get one.
Why? We were just gonna make a pact.
No, I won't get his
I'll get
jersey.
It. I'll get it.
I'll get a Nick Chubb jersey. Nick
It's the
Chubb.
kid show, sir.
It's his name. It's his name.
That is true. Nick Chubby. I'm
No,
getting,
that's not his name.
All right,
I'm
all
getting-
right.
I'm
I'm gonna
getting-
tell him you said that.
I'm gonna get a Nick Chubb jersey
There's
if
so
they
many
win
good
the
clips we
division.
can cut from this show. Just him
Just
calling
of
him
Drew,
Nick
yeah.
Chubby and just tweet it at Nick Chubb.
Yeah, come on, win the division so I can get a Nick Chubby jersey. Let's go. What the hell?
Just gonna get a highlighter and put the Y at
And
the end
order
of
it
it.
from China and get the Y on it.
There you go.
Or even better to me, IE.
I'll just get a bunch of white out and just put
Don't worry,
the Y.
actually, you can get the Browns jerseys in the U.S. cheaper than from China.
That is, you know what? That's probably true.
I don't know. After the Odell trade, you never know.
That is
dude.
true. That is
The
true.
True story. I'm in Ohio.
Oh, I love this.
And
Oh, yeah.
I'm in a TJ Maxx. All of the Steelers jerseys, full price. All the Browns jerseys, 50% off.
I'm
That's
surprised
how
they
I
were
got my
actually that
Browns jersey.
expensive. I'm surprised they weren't giving away for like $5.
Paying you
They
to
were
take
in-
it. We
That's
need to
an
get rid of
overpayment.
They
these.
did have a full rack in TJ Maxx, like the whole team.
That is an overpayment. And who did you get?
Just some guy,
Johnny Manziel, your boy.
my favorite guy.
Your favorite guy.
Your
who
favorite
lasted
guy.
like
Canadian
half
team
a
'cause he
season.
can't keep his shit together.
Oh my
Yep.
God.
That's why Baker Mayfield is so great. He's just
love
a better
Baker. I love Baker.
Manziel.
You know what? I'll get a Jarvis Landry jersey. There we go.
I'll still get an Odell Beckham jersey.
Actually no.
I
I'm
like
getting a
Jarvis
Chubb.
Landry.
I'm getting a Nick Chubb jersey.
I'm getting
100%.
Landry. I like Landry. He's a good dude.
Okay. Well, we'll figure it out once they win the division, and I'll get my $40 and I'll put it towards a jersey. How's that?
You are not winning.
I have no stake in this, but I'm
Hey,
also
whatever.
rooting for
as
the
long as
Browns.
they beat the Steelers.
I mean, that's your
well,
only
yeah.
hope for winning the division.
Pretty much. You know, Cincinnati's not going to do jack.
They suck.
Like, let's
Anyway,
get real
Well,
here.
did they have any good pickups? We're going to go over that?
Cincinnati?
They oversigned for a guy named Bobby Hart.
Who's that?
He plays tackle and he sucks.
And how much did they pay him?
Also, there
Way too much money. I think he
was it a Preston Brown they re-signed?
no.
Something Preston? I don't know. It was some
Hey,
linebacker or something
hey,
like
you
that.
guy.
Hey, you guy!
What? Sorry.
Can you look up who the Bengals have signed? Because they re-signed some kind of linebacker or something. And I thought his first name's either Preston or his last name's Preston or something like that. But
Am I looking up Hart or Preston? Because I'm going to look up both.
freaking know
I'm-
anymore.
look up
I
both.
literally
There's
have
so
it right
much
now.
going on. Like,
So,
I can't.
The Cincinnati
focus.
Bengals
Oh,
re-signed
God.
Preston Brown, linebacker.
See, I was right.
3 years, $21 million for a linebacker who most people will say, who?
Exactly. I couldn't
Also-
even get his name right.
Also, Bobby Hart, offensive tackle, re-signed on a 3-year deal, $16.15 mil, with a max value of $21.15.
Oh, geez, the Bengals are turning into the Browns. Holy crap!
So the Bengals used to be the Browns.
The Bengals are the new Browns again.
Marvin Lewis actually made them good. Think
Yeah,
about
well,
that. I mean,
the Bengals are now at the bottom of the barrel again.
it just shows maybe Marvin Lewis was really an amazing coach.
Okay, let's not get
What was
ahead
the
of
other guy
ourselves.
you
there.
wanted to...
We already looked him up.
No, not Hart. The other one.
Yeah, we
Brown.
already
We already
took
looked
care
him
of
up too.
that. We're good.
You're a
Thank
little
you,
behind.
though. We appreciate you.
Oh.
Don't worry, we'll have more stuff. We'll have more stuff.
I'm sorry, man.
Why am I here?
See, now you're catching on.
He's becoming self-aware. Need to kill it.
Whoa, save that for off the air. Let's relax. Yeah, seriously.
Just kidding.
My
We
God.
wouldn't.
I eat breakfast 300 yards from 4,000 Cubans who are trained to kill me, so don't think for 1 second that you can come down here, flash a badge, and make me nervous.
All right. Thank you.
All right. There's no getting to Alex, apparently.
That's right.
Yeah, there
I
you
know.
go.
you
Mess with
sleep.
me, and I will play long clips.
Okay.
All righty, let's do it.
That's
Wake me up when they're over.
It's the worst threat you can make.
And I can't get up.
That sounds like me in the morning
No,
falling
that's
out of
Alex
bed.
Smith. That was an actual recording
Oh.
from the field.
Too soon? No, it's still funny.
It's not too soon.
No, it's still funny.
It's not too soon.
Well, I mean,
Happened like months ago.
I know, it's still a guy's injury. That looked pretty bad. I still feel bad for the guy, but I mean, that was kind of funny. Just saying.
So who is your next?
My next one. So I got like 3 more, and then we'll take a break, and then I'll look at some of the shit signings. How's that?
Okay,
That sound
sounds
good to
good.
you?
That sounds
all right,
brilliant.
Brochacho. Next one.
Next one.
Kareem Jackson to the Broncos.
Kareem Jackson to the Broncos.
I like that signing. I don't think you like that signing. Tell me why.
So $11 million for a guy who was always the 3rd best guy in the secondary? Seems like a lot.
Oh, who was he behind in Houston?
So Jonathan Joseph for a while, Tyrann Mathieu.
Well, Tyrann Matthews is safety.
Yeah, but I mean, in the secondary, you benefit from having good safeties over the top.
I thought you meant
And
corner.
for a
Never mind.
while, he was behind both of them. And actually, Kevin Johnson was drafted to be a starter there as well. He ended up getting cut as well this year. But there's always been a good amount of talent on the back end of specifically the secondary. I mean, they had a few other guys who I'm just now blanking on, but
Good argument.
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it.
yeah,
All right.
killing it right now.
Making him look good. I like it.
no, but like Jonathan Joseph and Jonathan Joseph was the big one. Jonathan Joseph was arguably like a top
And
5 corner
AJ
for
Bouye, who went
AJ
to
Boye was really good
the
too.
Jags. Yeah.
And then when he signed with the Jags, but yeah. So this is probably Kareem Jackson's first good year, and I think the Broncos are banking on him getting better.
See, I think it's fine. I mean, yes, it's 11 mil, but you look at the corners around the league. Corners are getting paid. So the Broncos, like, who do they have? Who do they have other than Chris Harris?
So
And
they
Chris
could
Harris
have re-signed Bradley Roby.
Is mostly a slot guy.
Chris Harris is almost exclusively a slot guy.
So
yeah.
I'm fine with them getting Kareem Jackson to take the place of Roby.
I mean, yeah. I'm
Like,
a fan
if they-
of re-signing your own
Well,
if it's equal.
If they knew that they were going to lose Roby, then I think this is a good signing for them because they needed another solid cornerback, and I think
yeah,
he
that's
fills
fair.
that void.
Oh, he definitely checks the list. It's just kind of funky going from Houston to Denver. I'm never a fan of overpaying for guys who have one good year.
Hey, I don't know. I'm
And
just-
that's my only gripe. He checks all the boxes in terms of need, level on the tiers of free agents. he checks all those boxes, so I get why he got that money. I'm just, $23 million guaranteed for a guy who had 1 year where he was his own guy, and he was also part of a defense that really underperformed the last couple of years.
Well, you think about it though. In this league, you have to take flyers on these types of guys because if you either wait too long, then they're going to be gone, or you jump too early and they end up sucking.
No,
But,
yeah.
that's the danger. So, I mean, especially at that spot, you definitely need a cornerback, at least 1 to 2 good.
You need two
cornerbacks
corners. You need two corners
on your team, and they desperately needed one. So you know what? After coming off a good year, I'm fine with giving a guy $11 million for 3 years. That's fine with me. It's only 3 years.
Fair enough.
So that was one of my good signings. Next one. This one. This one. Great move by the Packers. Sign Zadarius Smith. So this guy is a freak pass rusher. Holy shit. This guy would make me shit. Like, legit. Like, if I was on the field, even if I wasn't in pads, I was just watching as a spectator,
Alex, cut that.
I would shit. Like, all over the place. Like a dog. All over the place. Like, everywhere. This guy is terrifying. Yeah. What's up?
Okay.
This guy is literally a athletic freak.
So he loves this guy named Zadarius Smith,
Oh
who
my
has had
God.
one good year with the Ravens.
I wanted us to get him so badly.
don't know why.
Dude, 10
poop
sacks,
all over the
17
place?
quarterback hits, 33
he would-
hurries, and only 690 snaps.
One good year on a top 3 defense last year.
I'm fine. I think it's a good signing. The
think-
Packers needed to revamp their defense desperately.
He's been on the team for, I think, 4 years. He's had one good year, and it just so happens to be his contract year.
Well, thank you for destroying my thunder.
You're welcome. That's what I do.
I guess so.
See, when you get 2 up, I got to bring you down.
This man makes you want to poop yourself.
He's a scary dude. He's a scary dude.
No, I'll agree
Apparently
he's
it's scary.
scary, but you're going to just shit all over the place?
Yes, uncontrollably, obviously.
Here he is, yelling at his friend.
Yeah, I don't want to mess with that guy.
He's only slightly
I'd be
taller than
shitting
Lamar
as much as
Jackson.
if I, downed a bottle of hot sauce. Oh my
I think
god,
slightly taller is an understatement. He's probably like leaning over a little bit.
Yeah, but it looks like Jackson's also leaning over a
that
little
guy is terrifying. I don't.
bit. That's
want to
fair.
mess
He
with
could
that
be
guy.
really tall. I have no idea. I'm just judging from afar.
And Jerry, I'm going to switch this actually to one of my questionable signings. Thanks.
Wait, what? I thought we were waiting till after.
I thought
Are
we
you
were
gonna ruin this?
All I was
was.
saying was I don't like the signing.
No, now I'm second guessing the signing actually.
This is Darius Smith signing.
Yeah, after I look at the numbers here, that's actually a lot of money.
It's a shit ton of money.
Yes,
66
shit
million?
ton.
For a guy who had one good year when he had
16
8.5 sacks, like something like that,
16.5 million per.
he's making Trey Flowers money.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Hold on. Let's look up his stats. Let's look up the stats. Let's go.
Like one
Got
good
this.
year. One good year.
Cut this. I should have looked into his past a little more. Cut it.
I told you, one good
Oh
year.
no, we leave this insert.
Cut.
You suffer in your mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's see what he got. All right.
Zadarius
You have 4 years of stats.
Zadarius Smith at 1 year, I think, is a starter because he sucked all the
he's had-
previous years.
He started with 5.5 sacks. Then he has 1. He has 1 in 2016. He has 3.5 in 2017, and now he has 8.5 in 2018. And they gave him 66 million. Damn it! So he hasn't even earned $1 million a sack.
I dropped the ball on that one. Shit.
Someone didn't do enough research.
Actually,
you know
he's
what?
going to get $1 million per sack in the first
Shit.
year.
You should have stopped because you had 5 and you decided to say your 6th.
I did.
Zadarius Smith was your 6th that you didn't have to make, and it's stupid. It's bad, and you should feel bad.
Yeah.
Wow, you're so dominant.
Thank you. Unlike Zadarius Smith as a football player,
Okay. Well. Okay. That may have been a little bit of an oopsie.
Drew needs to collect himself, so we're gonna go to.
No. I got one more, and then I'll collect myself.
Do you really want to
yes.
do this?
No, because I think this one's actually pretty good. So. Scratch
Wanna do
that. Scratch that. No Zadarius.
Alex?
He still would make me
Yes,
shit
sir.
myself.
Want to just queue up on Drew for this last one? Because I don't know if I trust it, but it just needs to be all Drew here. All Drew. Drew,
Special friend you are.
Thank you.
who is your next big signing?
So
The one that you wanna talk about.
Zadarius Smith may not have been great in his career. He's a man where I walk on a grass field and I look him right in the eye and I go, "Sir, you make me shit myself." Anytime I think of you, I immediately poop my pants. You are terrifying. I don't care what these jamokes say. You scare the piss out of
The
me.
fuck are you talking about?
Just
right now?
remember that. Zedarius, if you're listening, which you aren't, you scare the shit out of me. You're a scary bastard. Yeah.
It's Drew's soul crying.
That's how I feel when yeah. This is terrifying. Oh, stop it. The pressure's too much. Okay, so the sixth, before we get to our break here, is Adrian Amos to the Packers. Uh-oh.
You're still one up. You're still one up.
I don't know, Jerry's look is scaring me here. I don't want to get ripped apart
I
again.
literally didn't change my look.
Adrian Amos. So he's been a safety with the Bears the last few years. 4-year contract, $37 million. Not too bad. Easy to cut after 2 years because it's a front-loaded deal. The Packers' defense was in turmoil. They needed some help in the secondary. They also got some pass rushers like Preston Brown, right? No? From the Redskins? Mm-hmm. Yes?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Correct or no?
I thought it was Preston Smith.
Preston Smith, thank you. I knew it was one of those.
I had Preston in my head, and I was thinking, I
So the
was trying to put
Packers
you on an
are
island.
starting to rebuild their defense. Adrian Amos has been consistent. He's been a good player. Really helped solidify that secondary in the back end. For $9.25 per, it's a little bit of an overpayment. But if you look at the way the safety's been going in this free agent class,
It's
a lot
about
of them are
market value.
going.
No, that's about right.
Yeah, a lot of them are going between 9 to 14. So he's a little bit on the lower end. I mean, he is lower tier compared to some of the other ones, but
What's the stat that makes you a good safety that everybody looks at?
There isn't really a
yeah,
go-to
there really
stat for
isn't.
that.
It's
Yeah,
more so
how do you-
eyeball test.
So it's just a complete eyeball test?
Yeah, eyeball test.
Well, yes and no. I mean, you get a guy like Patrick Chung who doesn't really get too many pass breakups or interceptions, but he racks up a lot of tackles, and he has. That's really his stat, you know.
Tackles,
but you get
yeah.
a guy like Devin McCourty who, ideally, he doesn't put up a lot of stats outside of maybe passes deflected.
Yeah.
I mean, that's because if he has to make a lot of tackles, that shows that the defense
Well,
is
if we're
pretty
talking
poor
about
at the middle.
tackles, this guy's got 230
No, Adrian
in the
Amos.
last 4 years.
So Adrian
That's
Amos.
insane.
Adrian Amos is more of like a
That's
box
a pretty
safety.
yeah,
He's-
that's a good amount for a safety.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
To come out of the backfield,
Yeah.
hit somebody.
Yeah, especially
and-
if you
and
like
be
you were
the
saying
only
if you
guy
play
hitting him.
if you're up
Adrian
that's
Amos.
solo.
Adrian Amos is a box safety.
Yeah.
So he plays the run a lot, and he has to be decent in coverage.
Yeah.
As
I think he's a pretty good coverage linebacker. He's a good tackler. I think this is a very good signing for the Packers, who desperately needed help on their defense
specifically the secondary.
in the secondary. So there is my redemption story, people.
I approved of it. I actually like Adrian Amos as a player. So
Yes,
Drew got a check
that's
on
what
that
I'm
one.
talking about. One more time.
Wow.
And on that note, we're gonna take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Julie means more to me than anything. And I wanted to ask you, before I ask her, may I have your permission to marry her?
Is this some sort of a joke? A mall store ring? Don't disrespect my mother like that. Take that thing back and go to Bellman Jewelers.
Shopping for a diamond at the mall? Don't bother. Even a 9-year-old knows the difference. Shop at Bellman Jewelers, 1650 Elm Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. Because at Bellman's, it's always a matter of trust.
Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to Pop Sports.
All right.
I'm lounging in some shit. Bernie Mac would have been prouder. Looking down from
Good old
I
Macklemore.
just like Macklemore. Oh, he's fading out. Oh man, it's a good song.
Oh man.
Oh man. Well, welcome back to coming back from our break from Pop Sports here. So first, we gotta make sure we pay the bills first, though.
Always
So,
pay the bills.
You always gotta pay the bills.
Always pay the bills.
Because these lights don't pay for themselves here.
Nope.
So first, we gotta thank King's Barbershop, located at 1650 Elm Street in Manchester.
Manchester.
In
The Penthouse.
The
Suite.
Penthouse Suite. Check it out. It's fantastic. You'll love it. At King's Barbershop, it's a cut above. Also, Bellman Jewelers. Also, 1650 Elm Street in Manchester, because at Bellman's, it's a matter of trust, Jerry.
Always a matter of trust.
Who else are you going to trust but Bellman Jewelers? Tell me.
You know,
K's. K's is
Garbage.
garbage. Yeah, don't trust
Hot
them.
garbage.
Go to Bellman's. It's always a matter of trust. And Blake's Restaurant and Creamery with 2 locations in Manchester, home of the Boston Blackout, the Dirty Water, and my favorite, the Graham Central Station. Phenomenal. Check them all out. They're all fantastic. Now, moving on to our second segment here.
Before we move on.
Yes.
Before we move on,
Hot take.
Whoa.
with a hot take.
Hot. Feeling hot, hot, hot.
What you got?
What do we got?
What you
Blake's
got?
is coming out with not 1, not 2, but 3 new flavors that
Damn.
we're going to try live on this show.
Woo! Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Drew's excited.
Okay, I don't want to know what they're named because I want to try and guess what's in them on the air.
Yes.
Done.
I have no idea. I didn't even know that they were coming out with new flavors. I have no idea what the names
You
are.
heard it here first.
No idea what's in them.
And we're going to bring a special guest into the studio, pull Jerry out, and that special guest will try them too, and they'll guess. That'll be
I
fun.
like it.
So I will be
We're doing
useless.
it. We're doing it.
He'll be back here doing what?
Making the magic happen.
Making the
Making
magic
dreams come
happen.
true.
Oh, well, okay.
Wrong.
All right. Well,
Why are you here?
well, we're looking forward to that. So that sounds really good. So thank you to Blake's for sponsoring that. That'll be a nice little cool promo to do. So thanks to them for the samples. Good call. I like that.
That was all.
Was my reaction enough? Like, did that show off my excitement, or do I need more?
Radio silence. I think he was talking to you.
Are we
No.
still recording?
Yeah. Yeah. Forget it.
We're always recording.
All right.
Anyway.
Jerry, continue.
All right,
So
then.
we're going to wrap up the show focusing on the rest of the free agent signings, the good and the bad,
And the ugly.
and the ugly. Yep.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
What's on the agenda?
So, Jerry, go ahead. I have no idea what yours are to preface this. So I'm curious to see what you think.
We went
they
a
are.
little far and went a little on the lengthy side of time on your top 5 signings, which turned out to be 6 signings that we just got rid of 1.
Right.
So my first
Sorry
good
for my
signing,
analysis.
my first good signing, is Earl Thomas to the Ravens. I thought that was an exceptional deal for arguably
Wait,
the
good
best.
signing.
Yeah,
I thought we went over the good signings.
Jerry's going over
He
a
went
couple
over
of his.
Drew's.
Oh wow, all of that was just Drew.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow. What an
Wow.
attention whore.
Seriously, right?
You know what?
It's
I
like,
would
can I
say?
get some camera time, please?
Wow.
You know
so
what?
dominant.
Yes, you can, sir.
Thank
Wow.
you. Thank you.
Now
We're
you-
also using Drew's reaction, so
now
don't.
you
no one
tell
up.
us.
No, stay.
You-
Stay. This thing's here. You're in the way.
Wow, so dominant. Wow. Wow.
All right. Well, thank you, Drew.
Wow.
Andrew Gallagher.
Wow, you're so dominant.
Thank you.
Wow.
Get the knucklehead. Anyway, Earl Thomas was my first good signing. The Ravens signed him 4 years, $55 million, 32 guaranteed. And I think it was a good signing because he is one of the premier safeties in the league. He's 29, I believe, or just turned 30.
29 are going to be 30, yeah.
So I do think that he is still the best safety in the game, and I think you got him at a decent price. He wanted to break the bank, and the Ravens, they need to keep pace with the Cleveland Browns, believe it or not. So they need some talent specifically on a team where they seem to be, specifically on the defensive side of the ball, they seem to have lost a lot of talent, namely guys like Eric Weddle and Terrell Suggs. And C.J. Mosley, another big name that they lost.
True. Yep.
So they needed to replace some of them. And I think Earl Thomas is the best possible replacement for... I don't know how to get there, but thank you, Alex. You're focusing on... You're getting there. There you go, Tiger.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. So
Such
dominant.
crappy camera work. Anyway, Earl Thomas is my first one. What do you think about Earl Thomas?
I like it. I think that's a good move. For that price, I thought that was a pretty decent move. Plus, they just lost Eric Weddle. So he was a little bit later in his career. So I get why they cut him. They did save that money. They signed Thomas. So at least by
They put
cutting...
it right back in.
Yeah, at least you put it back into that position for a younger guy who is elite, if not the best at that position in the league. So
Agreed.
for the Ravens, I thought that was a good move, especially since they lost all those key defensive players. So
Yeah, and if you're going to replace someone If you're going to replace someone, it might as well. Oh, look. Just a bad shot.
What is going on back there? This is the opposite of making the magic happen.
Making the anti-magic.
What the hell
This is awful.
going
This is
on?
awful.
Why are you here? I don't get it.
Alex, you're the worst. You know that, right? You're the absolute worst. Such a dick.
Huh? What are you doing?
Wow, you're so dominant.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
we were going
Yeah,
with.
way to kill a moment.
Yeah,
but-
thanks, Alex. Thanks for that. So overall,
So
yeah.
Earl Thomas, good signing.
Yes.
My second one is Danny Amendola signing with the Lions. I really like that signing. It gives Matthew Stafford a good security blanket in the middle of the field, and he's paired with two really good receivers in Marvin Jones and Kenny Golladay. So I think Amendola 1 year, $4.5 million. I think that's the right amount for a guy his age.
I'd have to look at the guaranteed money. If the guaranteed money's fairly low,
Oh,
then
I'm sorry. It's 4.5 guaranteed. It's 5.75
that's a bit of an overpay. But I mean, if you're Patricia, you're bringing in
for 1 year for a known
yeah, that's fine for 1 year for a known quantity, and you're trying to establish a locker room presence like Patricia in a second year.
Danny's the guy.
Yeah, no. So yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, I don't think it's a big splash.
Flying
but,
through these.
But,
Third signing.
Yeah, it was okay.
Third signing, Devin Funchess to the Colts.
Overpayment. Did
1
not like
year,
it.
$13 million max.
Nah.
He's making $9 million. I think it's about 7 guaranteed. Probably going to end up being 9.5. 13 if he reaches all of his incentives.
Too much.
It's 1 year for the Colts, who had the most salary cap in the NFL.
I mean,
so they had to spend it somewhere. They might as well get a good flyer, and they didn't have another wide receiver opposite T.Y. Hilton.
All right.
I feel like that's why Funchess works perfectly there.
Well, based on their cap and the money that they could spend, that's fine.
I'm never mad at a 1 year contract.
I am, depending on the price. Like this
I mean,
this is an overpayment for this guy. But if you have the money and you need that position, that's fine for a year. That's fine.
1 year for a young wide receiver who has the ability to put up some big numbers in a high flying offense potentially with Andrew Luck. I'm all for it. You have the money. You have to spend it somewhere. Make sure you get a good flyer.
Yeah,
Funchess is a hell of a flyer.
Well, relative for them, that's fine. Yeah.
Next, Adrian Peterson, 2 years, $8 million.
Oh yeah, okay, that's not bad. What's his age? How old is he now?
He's 34.
Oh, jeez.
So he's coming off still an unbelievably productive season. They have quarterback questions. They have their running back, Darius Geis, who they want to be their starter, who's coming off an ACL injury and hasn't played it down in the NFL yet. Adrian Peterson is a great contingency plan, seeing as he can still put up 1,100 yards, still get 6, 7, 8 touchdowns. I still think it's a good contract.
No, yeah, that is a good contract, especially if you look at what some of the other running backs are going for. Like
Le'Veon Bell and Mark Ingram.
Well, Latavius Murray at the Saints, going to the Saints, was around 4 anyway. So I'd rather have Adrian Peterson than Latavius Murray for the same price. So yeah,
it's the same price, less years, so you can get out from under the contract easier. Yeah, I'm in. And my last one is a bit of a bigger contract. It's Malik Jackson. Malik Jackson went to Philly, and he got 3 years, $30 million. I'm not exactly sure how much is guaranteed. I want to say 20, but Malik Jackson is going to replace Michael Bennett in Philly on that defensive line. He's going to be surrounded by talent, and he's already a supremely talented guy himself.
Yeah.
Malik Jackson could wreak havoc on that team.
I don't know. That one...
That's my wild card of good signings, but I'm
yeah.
still for it. I think that 3 years, $30 million, like if the Pats got Malik Jackson 3 years, 30, I'd be pumped. I think you get excited for a guy like that, for even if it's 10 a year, I'm fine with that. I like it.
What they're spending on their defense and their D-line, I was wishy-washy, because it is a lot to spend for another D-lineman when your D-line is already really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
So that was my kind of if, is you've already put so much money into that area. You could afford to put that somewhere else to upgrade your team, maybe an offense.
Specifically a wide receiver.
A wide receiver or something. So that would be my only gripe. But overall, I like the player. I think the contract's reasonable for, a little
I think they
higher,
rely on the defensive line, specifically the front seven. And I think that Malik Jackson could be better than Bennett was.
I guess after losing Hicks too. So, you know what? Yeah, that's okay.
So they had to beef up the front seven.
Yeah, that's all
I
right.
think he's the guy.
That's all right.
So that's my 5 that we just blew through.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. Also,
guys, what do you think about that trade?
another reason why I hate Antonio Brown.
Alex, do you want to throw up that picture that I think you've had queued up for?
Did you guys see that?
I can
I didn't think you
corner
see it.
my eye, I
Oh.
think you want it to be seen. So why don't you just show it for everyone who has the ability?
It's on his Instagram, by the way.
What a
He posted this.
It's a bit
What a
self-aware right there.
dipshit.
But
First off, he looks like he is like on coke or something in that photo.
he looked like he had a great time at Pancetta or something.
Like seriously, I don't know what the heck.
Or Coachella, rather. Whatever.
Yeah,
the hell it is.
Did you say
Coachella.
pancetta?
Yeah.
Isn't that a restaurant or like a sandwich?
Pancetta.
That sounds like a sandwich.
It sounds like some Italian panini or something.
It checks out.
No, I'll get a pancetta.
Alex, look up what Pancetta is.
Yes, sir.
But oh my god,
But
look at
don't
this guy.
say it if it's really
What a
ridiculous.
freaking clown! But doesn't he look like Twister's brother Lars on
He
Rocket
does,
Power?
like, yeah, that's perfect.
Especially in that photo.
He
He's just
looks like if Lars went through a little emo phase. Like, that would have been perfect. Yeah.
Oh god, I hate Antonio Brown. What a
Anyway, so Antonio
Oh,
Brown's
what a
an Oakland
dipshit.
Raider,
Oh jeez. Oh boy.
a soon-to-be Las Vegas Raider.
Yeah. All
But
right.
that
So,
guy's going to be killing it in
let's
Vegas.
wrap up some bad
Pancetta
signings
is
and
Italian bacon made of pork belly meat and cured salt.
Well, I meant
Coachella.
Coachella, but I got food on my mind, so sue me. Don't sue me. I don't have any money. We wouldn't get anything.
that's what I say.
Take
every
my
time
debt
I
away.
pay
Please
something.
sue us. It'd be great for the show. We need the publicity.
If someone sues me, will they take away my debt?
I declare.
Is that how
That
it
would be
works?
so great. It's
Is
like,
that- is that how it
you
works?
win the lawsuit, you have now taken Jerry's debt.
I win.
So let's quickly just go through some of the poor signings and then
Sure.
we'll kind of wrap up. That sound good to you, Jerry?
Sounds great to me.
Fantastic. You're gonna love
Excellent.
it. All right. These are
Want
some
to go one-to-one?
awful deals.
You
yes.
go, I go?
Awful. Piss poor. Could have done
You
so
have
much
to make
better.
sure you let Jerry talk.
Awful.
Right? It's important.
Very important. I will interject. Don't you worry. I'm on
True.
it.
Hog.
It's calling you an attention whore again. How dare you?
Wow.
How fucking dare you?
Wow.
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 That was wow.
Anyway, who's
was
your
hard.
first worst signing?
Justin Coleman to the Lions.
Yeah.
Justin Coleman. Do you remember who Justin Coleman was?
No.
Exactly.
You should because he sucked.
For the
He
Patriots.
sucked for the Patriots.
Awful.
He was god awful. Oh my god.
I mean, they're giving him $9 million a year.
I know. That's why it's the worst contract I've seen so
I
far.
have to cross him out on my list. I had him too.
Oh my god, he fucking
He was really bad.
blows. He's getting $9 million per year. $9 million. He's getting Jamison Crowder money.
There was
Malik Jackson is getting paid $1 million more than Justin Coleman. This guy fucking blows, dude.
He's getting Adrian Amos money.
Oh,
Adrian
my
Amos
God.
is a really
Adrian
talented
Amos.
safety.
Oh my god.
Justin
That is
Coleman.
unreal.
Justin Coleman's a
fucking
mediocre
blows.
special teamer.
You know
Let's put it that way.
Gronk.
Well,
Gronk is getting less than this
They're
guy.
giving him $9 million a year. He
Oh
must
my
be
god.
good.
No, he is
No.
not. He sucks. This makes 0 sense.
That's
Well,
Matt
I mean,
Pat-
Zero.
It's-
Patricia just trying to
Yeah, 'cause
help
he's
out
an
old
idiot.
players.
He's
So
an
it's Matt
idiot.
Patricia is trying to build like Patriots Detroit. And
Yeah,
it's not
but-
working because he's getting a lot of cast-offs.
Oh my god.
The only non-cast-off he's really gotten is Trey Flowers.
Trey Flowers, yeah.
And, that's not a
What
great
did they
or
pay
a
Trey
worst
Flowers?
signing.
Yeah, because he got
What?
Garrett
What did they
Blunt
play
last
Trey
year.
Flowers?
What do they pay him? 17 a year? 18 a year?
18 million?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of money.
Wow.
A lot of money.
How much guaranteed? Most of it?
No, it was like
a lot.
It was like 65.
60. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh, they paid him.
Oh yeah,
What's
wow.
what's the quarterback making?
Matt Stafford,
Yeah.
23,
20-something.
24. So that's like about right.
He should be embarrassed. He's about to get overtaken by a.
No, quarterbacks get in the 20s
No, it's
nowadays.
quarterbacks and defensive ends. Those are the big money guys now, I guess.
And apparently lineman.
Yeah, apparently linemen.
True.
We do have a couple of those on here, but we'll get to that in a
Yeah,
second.
Justin Coleman,
Ooh,
100%
so-
freaking blows.
We'll get to it. So, my first bad signing is Quan Alexander. He went to the San Francisco 49ers.
Yep.
4 years, $54 million for an average linebacker.
Yep.
You have to understand, he also reset the market for how much a non-pass rushing linebacker makes.
And he tore
He-
his ACL.
He's coming off an ACL tear. He's making more than Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly from the Panthers is by far the best linebacker in the league in terms of inside,
These
whatever.
teams are so stupid.
Quan Alexander,
What are you doing?
more money than Luke Kuechly.
What are you doing?
Quan Alexander's fine. He's a good linebacker.
Not more than Luke Kuechly. Are you
No.
kidding? That's a joke.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing to Luke Kuechly.
Yep. There are teams that have multiple linebackers that are better than
What
Quan
a
Alexander.
travesty. Oh my god. Alex?
Wow.
Nice. Drew, Worst signing.
My next one was Trent Brown.
Trent Brown.
Hey, whoa.
Another
whoa.
expatriate seems to be picking
So,
up the Pats
hear me
right
out,
now,
hear
huh?
me out, okay?
Go.
Hear me out. Oh, I'm
Rant.
sorry. Am I going to talk too long? I'm sorry. I don't want to rant and take up your time here. Is that okay with you?
It's okay with me. You're good to go.
Okay. So, hear me out. So, Trent Brown was...
God, you're talking so much.
Well, I guess that makes our naughty parts tingle.
Well, whatever.
I don't know what to say to that,
Whatever floats
but
your boat.
you can keep talking.
See, I can't
Like,
work with this bitchery diva over here. What is this?
I haven't dyed my hair yet.
Yeah, wait till you get a bleach blonde mustache first. So, hear me out,
Wouldn't
though.
look
Trent
good on me.
Brown, he was a cast-off, basically a throwaway from San Francisco. There were concerns about his work ethic, how much he put into the game. He was starting to get really fat. I mean, he's a big dude. But
I mean, I think when he's healthy, he's 340, 330,
Yeah.
340.
Yeah.
So he's a big fella.
But he was basically a cast-off. He was a right tackle. And then he goes to the Patriots, and Dante Scarnecchia, who's like a offensive line god, could literally turn me into like Joe Tooney. Like, this guy is so freaking good at creating an offensive line. It's ridiculous.
They took him out of retirement to ensure he could help this team that started to suck.
And he did. Huge. You could see the massive
He turned around your
difference.
boy Marcus Cannon's career, too.
Fine. Yeah, he's okay.
Continue.
He's okay.
Continue on your rant.
So you take Trent Brown from the scrap heap, you put him in at left tackle. He has a really good year.
Specifically in the playoffs. He was unbelievably dominant in the playoffs. Okay in the regular season, but really picked
But
it up
one
late.
year, all right? The
One
year
year.
before, Nate Solder, who was on the Pats, who was one of the better left tackles in the entire league, set the standard and got paid a lot of money, mostly because it's a sought-after position, and he was a solid, reliable left tackle.
We've all seen The Blind Side. Yeah,
right?
we get it. Yeah.
He was overpaid. What?
The Blind Side.
Oh, whatever. Anyways, so Trent Brown goes there. He's good for a year, and all of a sudden, John Gruden, you frickin' Chucky Doll wannabe, frickin' moron. I don't know what the hell he's doing to the Raiders right now. I'm so confused.
Is he rebuilding?
They going for it? I don't freaking know.
I don't think he knows, to be perfectly honest.
Like,
Whatever.
seriously. So
We have a
with
whole
Trent
show on
Brown,
him.
he's shelling out all this money, $36.75 guaranteed. Total deal of $66 million for 4 years. This guy is getting like $16.5 a year, highest paid left tackle. And there was questions about him potentially eating himself out of the league, and there were reports that he didn't even like watching film.
Yeah.
So if you're paying the highest paid left tackle in the league, who is
a questionable
basically-
left tackle.
Like, if you can't bring him near a buffet without getting worried, or you put him in the film room and he starts taking naps,
You start to get worried.
that's just stupid.
And what happens when, or if and when, the team as a whole starts to flounder?
Yep.
What if they rack up a couple more losses than they do wins? Is he going to be the type of guy that has the right mentality to help the team, get back on track? Or is he going to just snowball with the rest of them? He could totally eat himself out of the league
Easy.
in year one.
Easy. Yeah. So
One bad season, he could be out of the league.
So that's my second.
Could
biggest
Hainsworth himself a little
bad
bit.
signing. Yeah. Go ahead.
So mine, we touched on it a little bit, but it's Bobby Hart to the Bengals. He re-signed with the Bengals, and I can't emphasize this enough. 3 years, $21 million for a right tackle. Not even a left tackle. They're not overpaying for an average guy to project better. He's mediocre at best. At best. Actually, Pro Football Focus had him as the 5th worst tackle in all of football last year.
Jeez. Oh boy.
5th worst.
To
And
put
he's
that in
pulling in
perspective-
$7 million a year.
Well, to put that in perspective,
For 3
Shaq
years.
Mason, who I absolutely freaking love, probably the best right guard in the league, if not
He's best guard in the league.
top
I mean,
three.
it's-
Yeah, top 3 best guards in the league is making 10, and this Jamoke, who's mediocre, is making 7. Yeah, that's a shit deal. Yeah,
It is. I mean, he's got to thank his agent. I mean, he did some seriously good work.
Guys
there.
got
I
a
want to point
horseshoe
out
up
that I
his
can do
ass.
0 work because Jerry decided to not submit his information.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I
What?
mean, you weren't doing anything when he was talking either.
I was bringing up stats. I was helping.
Okay, well, when I say a
I
name,
was
start looking up
making
shit.
the magic happen.
This guy,
You got to submit
making
What happened to
the
dreams? What happened to
magic
dreams?
happen.
You
Go
are
back-
making
go
the
back to dreams.
Sad.
Self-made
Good.
millionaire over here.
Making us sad.
More fitting. Anyway. So, yeah, that's my Bobby Hart thing. I mean, the Bengals are a shitty organization. Bobby Hart's a shitty tackle. Match made in heaven.
Yep.
Nice shitty money.
Yep. Shit. We're talking about shit a lot today. Shit.
Yep, that too. Who's your next signing?
What the hell? Ray, will you stop?
That was music by Cincinnati's organization.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, that sums
What
up
the bench
Cincinnati.
sounds like.
Pretty much.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. My next one, Juwan James, right tackle for the Dolphins. Good right tackle, totally overpaid. He's getting paid almost $13 million a year, 32 guaranteed on a 4-year, $51 million.
$32 million for a tackle? You mean the guys that consistently tear their ACLs, break their ankles? I mean, come on.
Right tackle, who's maybe above average. Average
He's
to
above
above
average.
average.
I did hear that they thought
That's a
they
lot
might
of
want to.
money.
I mean, he didn't re-sign with the Dolphins. I
No,
mean,
oh, sorry. He went with the, who'd he go? Broncos. He went
Yeah.
for the Broncos.
So there is talk that the Broncos are going to try him at left tackle. I did hear. So I mean,
So if he works out, then fine. That's a
if he
good deal.
works out, it's fine. But I mean, to pay him currently as a right tackle this much money, that's like if we paid Trent Brown what the Raiders paid him before we even saw if he could play left tackle.
Right.
They're taking a major gamble on if he can even play the position, let alone play it better than most in the league.
Yeah, a 4-year gamble.
Who
Yeah.
I would like to see if there's a single like manager, you know, those giant companies that are managing all these athletes, negotiating all these massive contracts.
Yeah,
for these underperformers.
It's guys like Drew Rosenhaus and
Excuse me, man.
yeah, it's mostly Drew Rosenhaus. He's one of the big super agents
Yeah,
of,
pretty much.
of sports. Him and there's one other big
$32
name.
million guaranteed to a tackle.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, actually,
They get paid, but this is
on
a
the other
right
side, I want
tackle.
all players to get guaranteed money, but to pay a right tackle $51 million.
I think they're
sounds
also
crazy.
hoping that since he's 26, he's going to get better.
I mean, he
but
is
it's a lot of
in his prime,
projecting
but
and
yeah,
gambling. That's the problem.
That's a pretty big gamble.
26 years old and getting $13 million a year, getting a Ferrari.
You get 2 Ferraris.
Yeah.
I mean,
Getting 3 goddamn
yeah,
Ferraris.
you get 2 Ferraris and a mansion. I mean, what?
Pretty much. Yeah, so that was my shit signing.
So I went with a tight end on this one. I have actually my next 3 are all Bills, but I'll just stick to one right now. This one's Tyler Croft.
Oh, yeah.
He got $18.75 million
That's
for 3
ridiculous.
years. Now,
That's
the reason why
ridiculous.
I'm pointing this out is because Tyler Croft is probably
I don't know who that is.
Exactly. He was the 3rd best tight end on the Bengals.
He's
last
a
year.
third string tight end on the
Who
Bengals.
is negotiating these contracts?
Dude,
Right?
No, it's who are the idiots on each team that are agreeing to these contracts?
Who looked at Tyler Croft's game tape and was like, "Damn, we gotta lock that guy up." Like that's just ridiculous.
That's some guy you get on the scrap heap like a couple of days before the
That
draft.
is a veteran's minimum deal. That's a guy that barely signs before training camp.
Oh, yeah.
Because you're like, we could use another body.
Pretty
Tyler
much.
Croft.
Yep.
So Tyler Croft was behind C.J. Uzoma and Tyler Eifert when he was healthy.
Well,
Last
Eifert was
year.
always
Guys, he played so well
broken.
in 2018. You can only find his highlights from 2017.
There you go.
Leave it to the Bills. Leave it to the Bills.
So yeah, I mean, like, what do you expect him to be? Do you expect like you're essentially paying the guy we used Dwayne Allen for last year?
God.
That's what Tyler Croft is going to be. They're either overpaying for a blocking tight end to never make an impact as a pass catcher, or they're just going to force him into a pass catching role and he's going to suck
Yep.
because that's what the Bills do.
Is he a
Yep,
great
They
blocker?
suck. He's
It
good
doesn't matter.
enough.
You still don't
He's
pay
good
that much
enough.
for a blocking tight end. That's just
You can-
stupid.
I mean, you
Here
don't.
it goes. Oh, look at that beautiful wobbly
Oh
throw.
yeah, wide open too. You know,
Wow.
just shit coverage.
I was going to say, is that
Against
the
the Bills.
whole highlight reel?
Listen,
Tell me that's the whole highlight reel.
It is.
Oh, that's amazing.
That is the one highlight. He
Thank
had.
you.
It's a 21-yard catch. Guys.
Oh shit!
Damn,
Had the
I
Look
fantasy
at that
stats
wobble.
to
Look at
him.
that wobble.
Do you think the GM of the Bills there was just like,
Damn! Wow.
dude, that one guy on the Bengals tore us up. We got to make sure we
Probably.
get him.
Oh my.
Are we going to do this? Are we really going to watch Tyler Croft highlights?
Yeah,
Man,
let's see
this
what we
is-
got.
Ain't nobody ain't got time.
This is
for
our
that.
Are you
life
kidding?
now.
Who wouldn't give this guy? What did he get? 18 million?
18.75 million.
It's fucking insane.
That's
Look at that. Are
ridiculous.
you kidding?
That's ridiculous.
Over the shoulder catch.
Do you think it's because his number is 81, and because they're like, oh, usually 81s, they're good at catching the ball.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Well, that was a stupid one.
Look at that. Great.
I mean,
Wow. Could he be better? Look at that.
he is great at catching and falling. I'll tell you that.
Also, this actually goes.
It's a real game breaker right there.
This
Ooh.
goes into my
Look
next
at
one
that.
too.
He even got flipped.
Did even get flipped. Anyway, all right, so we're going to go to our next one.
Well, this goes actually perfectly to mine because mine is another tight end who has absolutely zero things on his stat sheet, which is the Ravens re-signing Nick Boyle, who is a tight end, 3-year contract.
Where did Nick Boyle go to college?
No idea.
I think I do.
Okay.
Where did he go?
Delaware.
Oh, there you go. Well, he got 3 years,
I'm going to be really pumped if I got that one.
$18 million, so similar to Croft. You want to know what the kicker is? Guess how many touchdowns he's had over the past 4 seasons?
2?
0.
Ah.
He has had 0
I was
touchdowns
optimistic
in
there.
4 straight years. He's had 0 touchdowns. And you're paying this guy $18 million over 3 years. You're an idiot. You're just an idiot. Like, what? You don't
Went to
pay that
Delaware.
much.
You did go to Delaware? Nailed it.
Freaking weirdo. So, yeah.
Didn't even write it down. See?
Weirdo. Well, that's another one of my
I
stupid
can't find
signings.
highlights on Nick Boyle.
Exactly. Because he has 0 touchdowns in the past 4
What'd they give
years.
him?
What?
How much they give him?
$18 million
3 years,
for
18
3
mil.
years.
They also gave him 18 million.
Yes.
10 mil, totally guaranteed.
It's so dumb. These
Oh, he
teams
must have
are
been
so
fucking stoked.
dumb.
See, if I was a guy like that and I know I'm not good enough and I got that money, I would just immediately invest it. Just be like, this is it. It's my one chance. I'm cashing in.
You put
Screw
it
it,
in
my
right?
lotto ticket, motherfucker.
Oh my god. Yeah. No. So that I thought was another idiotic
But
signing.
here's the thing: you got to be proud of those guys. And a crappy player
Oh my
signed for
God.
a bunch of money. What a genius!
Okay, so we look at it as like a fan thinking, like in trying to enjoy the team, right?
Right.
Like I'm like, oh, if I'm a Ravens fan, I'm pissed because we gave that money to him. As like I don't know how else to say it, but like for Nick Boyle, holy hell, that like I am so happy for him.
right?
Yeah.
Like what a genius!
Like,
Good for him.
Yeah.
Like stupid by
Great
the Ravens.
negotiating skills.
Whoever his agent is, crushed it. Like
Apparently.
that is awesome, but really shitty for the Ravens because I don't think they're getting any value.
That's just
Again,
stupid.
a Dwayne Allen 2.0 there.
That's just stupid. that was actually one I laughed at pretty hard when I saw that one.
I thought it was a joke. I was like, is it April 1st? I mean, what the hell?
I have a question. I know
Yes.
Jerry has one. Isn't Cameron Wake good?
So I actually had him as
Good question.
This is my last one. So yes, I actually had Cameron Wake as my last really bad signing because he's 37 years old. He got a
Wow, that dude's 37.
Yeah.
He's jacked.
37. He got a 3-year deal, basically seven and a half
Basically, yeah.
million a year for someone who's 37 and is supposed to be a defensive rusher.
Look at this guy.
Like this dude's gonna
He's
break
a
down.
monster.
No, Cameron Wake's a monster for sure.
Are you kidding me? This dude is not breaking down. Look at that guy's 37.
No.
That's scary.
Cameron
37
Wake
years
is
old.
cut. No.
I'm
So the
just
thing
saying,
about Cameron Wake is
I don't like the amount of money for how old he is.
the years bothered me, but if you were like,
If it was front loaded in like 1-2 years, then cut his ass the third. If
I think
it's
that's the
dead cap-
idea. I
You don't think this dude is gonna make it 3? It's only 3 years.
I don't think he's going to make it 3 years, but here's the thing is, I think they were like, we'll give you the 3 years, and they're like, he's going to retire. He's going to fall off. It's not going to matter.
Like how many defensive players stay elite into their late 30s? Like James
The
Harrison,
fact
maybe.
that he's
Dominican Sue closing on 40.
No,
nah, you're way off. You're about a decade
He's
off.
like-
he like just turned 31.
he's just like around
did?
30. Yeah.
He just looks so old.
He doesn't
All
play
the
it.
anger.
But for an old dude, I thought that was a bad contract
Well,
for the Titans.
I get it, but I think it's one of those things where the Titans are going for it. I think they think this is their window for whatever reason.
Then just give him 1
And so
year
they're
for a
going
big
for it.
They only
contract.
gave him 10 million guaranteed, so he's barely gonna make what he's gonna make. What he makes the first year, and like a third of what he makes
I
the
don't know.
second
So-
year.
I just didn't
I-
like 3 years.
I see where
don't
you're
like
going
that.
with it. The term is weird.
It's a
I
weird
think,
term.
I think that the high money is you're pretty much banking on this year. You're pretty much saying Cameron Wake is going to perform this year for us. Anything after that, we'll eat it, knowing that he performed
Yeah, he'll
for that
only
1
eat
year.
3 million off next year, even
So-
if he's not good next year.
So I think that's the point. Is they're banking on 1 year. The rest is whatever. They probably have enough cap
And
to
last
eat
year,
it.
36 tackles
No,
and 6 sacks.
So, yeah,
For a 37-year-old,
and he was a rotational guy. He wasn't even starting.
and he's probably on the Tom Brady diet.
I don't know. I'm just saying, man.
Cameron Wake has always
just
been.
kidding.
I don't know. I
He's
don't
not.
know. I get
Don't sue
skeptical
us, please.
about ages in certain positions, and that's
It's okay.
Don't
It's,
sue us.
that's not trademarked. I think we're okay.
all right. So that's all my bad signings.
So
Go ahead, Jay.
this is kind of a little duo is Cole Beasley and John Brown to the Bills. I lumped them both into one because they're both getting kind of similar total money. Cole Beasley, $29 million over 4 years,
For what?
and John Brown, $27 million over 3 years.
John Brown more than Cole Beasley.
So-
Cole Beasley didn't do shit last year.
So
he's
that's
a solid.
that's
he's a
true.
Solid receiver.
Wait a minute, Cole. Yes, Cole. I think Cole Beasley is solid. The reason why he didn't do well last year is because he got demoted when Amari Cooper came in.
And you had Dak Prescott thrown to him.
They've always been an offense that can only really support one wide receiver. So he didn't do too much outside of big plays for the Dez Bryant era, so to speak. And he didn't do anything once Amari Cooper came in.
Let's talk about his yards in 2017.
No. I'm totally agreeing with you.
Let's go with 2017.
It looks bad, but if you watch the games...
300.
If you watch the games...
300.
Dude, this is my bad signing, and I'm still trying to talk him up because he's going too far.
Welcome to my world.
300.
You deserve it.
2018.
Alexander.
600.
Alexander. Look up third down conversions.
I mean, it's on here somewhere.
Look up how many third down conversions he had.
So
because that was his bread and butter.
I agree with you on those ones, mostly just because of the money. I thought they were both really good signings for Buffalo because they needed receivers desperately.
So they overpaid to make sure they got guys.
Because you have to overpay to bring people to shitty places like Buffalo.
So when you have a guy like John Brown, a guy like Josh Allen at quarterback, you need deep threats. That's why John Brown works. It's just way too much money.
Well, it's because you have to entice them to go to Buffalo.
Cole Beasley is a slot receiver who needs to operate within 10 yards to be super effective. He's the guy that you need to throw. He's Edelman. He is Edelman light. That's what he is. He's a slot guy. He runs precise routes, and he needs a quarterback that can get the ball out quickly, precisely, and let him do the rest. Josh Allen doesn't do any of that. Josh Allen's the type that says, I'm going to huck it and you're going to run under and get it. And if you don't, it's an interception.
Then I'm just going to run the ball.
Yeah, exactly. He's totally a vertical guy. Needs to go deep. That's Josh Allen's MO. Cole Beasley doesn't fit that at all. I just don't like the combination of receivers they have because who's the number one receiver? John Brown by default.
Right.
John Brown, Cole Beasley. Who are the other receivers there?
Is it Zay Jones?
Zay Jones, and I'm forgetting one other guy, but it's not anyone
noteworthy.
Alex, can you look up who the other when you finish what you're about to say?
I can't find him. I can't find his third down conversions because they're probably garbage.
No, Cole Beasley made his living off of third downs.
Yeah, when he was good.
He's still good.
2012, 130 yards. 2013, 300.
You didn't listen to anything I said. If you're gonna still rattle off yards, you didn't listen to anything I said.
That's because Dallas isn't a big passing team.
Like they really made their living handing the ball off to Zeke and throwing to Amari Cooper.
Right.
Cole Beasley just did third downs. That was his only role there. He is a talented receiver. I wanted him in New England.
Oh, that would have been great signing.
But not for that money. That money is a joke.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Edelman, I want them to pay Edelman. Edelman's getting $2 million. You know that?
I mean, it's something stupid.
That's just disrespectful to Edelman.
Super Bowl
like,
MVP.
Will you get this man his money? Jesus, Belichick, get your head out of your ass.
Actually, wasn't it?
And actually value your
the year
players.
before, he took $1 million less.
So I think he restructured his deal. He got some guaranteed money to lower his cap hit.
He deserves to be getting paid like $6 to $7 million at least. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, if Cole Beasley's getting that kind of money,
getting $9 million, and Adam Humphries is getting around that, Edelman should be getting like 12. Like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
Like Edelman is getting screwed.
Who the other receiver is on the Bills? I just can't think of it. It's because right now it's John Brown, Cole Beasley, Zay Jones, and I know there's one. I think Reuben Foster. He's another big deep threat. Maybe that's the other.
Williams.
No.
Isaac McKenzie.
No, it sucks.
Ray McLeod.
Sucks.
Dante Thomas.
Sucks.
Cam Phillips.
Sure, it wasn't DeAnthony Thomas.
Nah, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
No, it's Dante.
Dante. All right. Well, he sucks more.
And Victor Bolden Jr.
Yep.
Nope. Sucks.
No idea.
Robert
so
Frost.
they have 3.
Is it Foster?
Foster.
Oh, Foster.
It would have been so much better if it was Robert Frost.
Yeah, I know. I thought it was Ruben too. Maybe it was Robert. I think it's Robert Foster.
Robert Frost. There is a Reuben Foster. He's a linebacker though.
Oh yeah, he's a D-bag. Anyway, so like if you're gonna have a number one wide, if you're gonna pay a big receiver, don't pay John Brown when you have a guy like Foster who's infinitely cheaper, like he's the 7th round pick or something.
They don't even have a picture of him on Google.
Exactly. I mean, he was okay. He was a good deep threat, so he fit what Josh Allen was doing.
Yeah, I'll show you what I'm looking at. This is beautiful. You've just got a bunch of like high school photos. These guys just like pro photo, like high school. I don't even know what this guy's doing. Oh, you can't see what I'm pointing at.
Nope, not at all.
Damari Scott.
I can barely read the writing. It's pretty far, but I'm going to take your word for it. Oh, I can see on the right. Yeah. I gotcha.
I need my glasses.
Don't need glasses, but I feel like I do. I need a telescope to see that. Anyway, and it's gone.
Oh, hey. That's weird.
Anyway, so that's why I hated those signings. I think they were trash because you're paying for something you don't need.
Yeah.
Wow, you're so dominant.
Thank you.
You got any other ones there?
Any other crappy signings?
Yep. Where's that going to top it off?
Yeah, pretty much tops it off.
All right, Alex,
Said-
you got any?
Said my piece, short, sweet, and to the point.
You got any feedback?
Can I steal one from the bottom of the list?
Let's go.
Do it up.
D Ford, $90 million.
So D Ford's a hell of a player, though.
I know,
He
but
is.
$90 million? That's
Well, it's
so
spread
much
over
money.
what, like 4 or 5 years?
5 years?
So, yeah.
He's a good player, and he's young too.
So
he's a good young
That's a hell of
player.
So much money.
Trey Flowers-esque.
Yeah.
So,
They
hell of
need
a
Trey
player.
Flowers got the same money. It's
Yeah.
just a shorter contract.
So I think annually it's the same money, but yeah, Flowers got 1 year less, I think.
Flowers was also a 5-year contract.
Was he? I thought it was 4.
I thought Flowers was making 18 a year.
Either way, the money
17
is
to 18.
the money is
I think
cl-
this comes out to 17.
either way. I think the money is close. Guaranteed money is probably close. I think that's a case of you're paying a lot for a really good player in their prime.
Pretty much.
I think the money just stands out because it's a lot.
Well, the
But
49ers have a good team.
they have a team.
They have a team that could be good.
It's getting better.
It's slowly getting better.
If
But
Garoppolo could ever
Oh,
be
they just
healthy.
signed Tevin Coleman too.
they did sign
So
Tevin
that
Coleman.
was a good one.
So that's the problem with. We're not going to get into it. Like evaluating each signing
No,
pertaining to
we're
the
not-
team.
we're not getting
I
into
probably
that.
went too far
We're
with
not
the
getting into
Bills,
that.
but yeah,
Yeah.
A little.
But on that
Bills
note,
suck. Whatever.
Alex,
We're gonna- Bills suck.
you got anything else?
Are we gonna go over?
I think we're gonna wrap it up.
We're gonna wrap it up
here.
Wrap
Yep.
it up.
Wrapping it up. We're not even gonna talk about Antonio Brown. Come on.
No, no, different
Well, I'll
episode.
get to that later.
Different episode.
Save it for later.
Oh, we're gonna
Saving
save
it.
that for
Saving
later.
it.
Saving it.
We're
Saving
saving
it.
it.
Saving it.
Saving it.
Really?
Saving
it.
Saving it.
Saving it.
Then I guess we're
Saving
out.
it. Saving it. We're out.
Later.